Hello and welcome to Full Tuck, the Wingspan podcast with me, Adam.
And with me, Aidan, all the way from across the other side of the world. So
it is pretty mad seeing you on the screen actually so far away.
I know. It's a bit strange being the other side of the screen.
Normally we are like a metre away from each other. We are just literally huddled on top of each other and being able to react to literally every single word that they have to say, which has its pros, but as it turns out also has its cons, because, listener, I'm sorry that if I'm a bit stuffy this week, because I have picked up the cold that Aidan has been having for the last few weeks. I'm sorry if I have to sort of turn away and have some of my honey and lemon tea, or I have a bit of a coughing fit.
Oh, no.
That was
has it been really bad?
Your parting gift to me, mate, has been a lovely cold, which has struck me off work for a few days.
Yeah, I mean, apologies for that. That's not the
it's something to remember
desired
by,
goal.
It's fine. How's it been down under?
Yeah, I mean, so far so good. A hell of a long plane ride to get here, but then it's been lovely. Obviously, arriving into the middle of Melbourne's summer, coming into. The day we arrived was
6
actually
degrees, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's totally different to the middle of Britain winter. But no, we've had, the day we arrived, it was apparently 45 degrees in the day. We landed quite late at night, so we managed to avoid that. But properly hot. And then since then, it's kind of been in the high 20s. So it's been pretty lovely, to be honest.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
And getting a load of sunshine. The Australian Open is currently on for the big tennis tournament. So
as listeners will know, the Federer-Djokovic argument that we had, Federer-Nadal argument we had last week or 2 weeks ago now. Yeah.
So we're slowly drifting into
How's Federer getting on?
We're slowly drifting into becoming a tennis podcast, aren't we?
I don't think I've got much tennis legs in me, to be honest with you.
I think, despite it being objectively a much bigger topic, I think we could talk a lot less on tennis than we could on Wingspan. But no, so that's been really good fun. We've been down to seeing that, and obviously trying to set up life here. So it's been very exciting times.
Have your golf clubs arrived?
Not yet. No, still in transit.
They're not lost somewhere in the Atlantic.
Still
not
in transit.
Not the Atlantic. Sorry. God,
I don't. It depends which way they come. It'll come via Asia.
It's very embarrassing. Stick to what you know.
We are not a geography podcast.
Okay, so we ticked geography, we've ticked tennis.
Yeah.
Should we move on to some birds now, shall we?
Yeah, maybe birds. Maybe something we'll be better at.
Plenty of birds down there?
Yeah, so obviously Australia being Australia, the wildlife and the biodiversity is totally different to the UK, and in fact totally different to most other parts of the world. So yeah, it's been really good fun seeing. So we went some of the friends we're staying with took us for a very nice walk around the Melbourne Botanical Gardens, which are absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. And on that walk, we bumped into quite a few different birds, and it's pretty cool to see how many of them I actually recognise from being in the game. So I have sent you some photos, haven't I? But
there was one morning that I woke up and I had about eight photos from Aidan of just different birds, and you go, I promise you this is a bioweaver, or I promise you this is a maned duck, and I go, well, it doesn't really look like it, to be honest, but I'll take your word for it. The only one that really which was the one that definitely looked like it? It was one of the cranes or the herons or something.
Oh, the peacock.
Yes, that was it. That was the only one that actually I was like, yes, I agree with you, I believe you.
I agree. So the peacock is one of them, and obviously the colours, it's got that kind of blue head and neck, and it's really distinctive. So you can really tell with the peacock. They move and act very much like chickens, which I don't think I've really appreciated from the card in Wingspan.
And are they like you're in Melbourne, you're in a city, aren't you? So these birds just walking around freely in the city. Are they like our pigeons, for example, in England?
So no, not the peacock. This is in the Botanical Gardens. So that I only saw the peacock.
So they're collected.
I only saw most of these birds.
Right.
Yeah, which is very much it's a massive park, protected area, and it's it doesn't feel like you're in inner city Melbourne. The bird I have seen a lot in inner city Melbourne, I wasn't expecting to see, because it's I think
bin chicken?
In terms of Not seen the bin chicken.
Have you not?
No,
Okay.
I've not seen
So
the bin
that's the
chicken. So I
Australian
don't know.
ibis. For listeners, I think my understanding
Yeah.
is that's the Australian ibis, which is colloquially termed the bin chicken.
Yeah,
isn't
yeah.
it?
So it's
Because
an ibis that rummages bins, doesn't it? So yeah,
Yeah.
it gets called the bin chicken. But no, so I don't know whether that's a bird that just isn't in Melbourne so much, or just happened to have not come across it yet. But no bin chicken. Sadly, I hope I do. I really do hope I do. That would be a shame.
Yeah, but the one you have seen is...
Well, so there's the bird which has been very, very common is the common myna.
Oh!
So this is a bird that's actually in the Asia expansion. So is not one that I was expecting to see at all. But the common myna is absolutely everywhere. It's all over all of the streets. And I was a bit surprised. I was like, I didn't realise this was a bird that was native to Australia.
Yeah.
And it turns out it isn't.
Yeah, I was just about to say, just looking at the card, actually, because I've got it up here, Australia isn't coloured in on the card.
So it's interesting. I was doing a bit of reading about what's going on here. So basically, the common myna in about the mid 1800s was introduced specifically to Melbourne to try and deal with an insect problem.
Oh, like a pest. Oh, cool.
So it was a pest issue. So they were brought over from Asia to be introduced to try and deal with some of the insects and bugs that are on the street, and then now have gotten to the point where they're
the pest.
Far more of a... Well, so I think they are not officially labelled as a pest by the Australian government, but they are, you know, in the same way that in the UK we're very much used to pigeons and seagulls being everywhere in our cities. Yeah. You just get tons of common miners. You also get pigeons, but there are way more common miners.
The flavour text at the bottom of the common miner says, miners are skilled mimics and can imitate human speech. Do they do that?
I've not heard them imitate human speech, but they definitely mimic other birds.
Not walking around with a British accent, are they? After spending some time with you. Half of Melbourne's English, isn't it?
Good day, mate. And you turn around, there's a bird over your shoulder. So the common miner has been very cool. Seen a lot of those. They're very cute. But yeah, they steal food. And then so the pukeko is
like
very
seagulls.
cool to see.
Okay, right.
Yeah, they do a bit. And what else did we see? We saw the magpie lark. Which is a very nice kind of black and white coloured bird. They're very nice. Just saw a couple of those in the botanical gardens. We saw a pair of cockatoos. That was lovely. Which obviously famously an Australian bird. They're magnificent. They're really cool to see. Really much bigger than I was expecting.
It's just so funny when you talk about all these birds that you see, and I think, where could I go in England to see these birds apart from like a bird sanctuary? But then even if it was a bird sanctuary, it wouldn't be birds that are native to England, would they? Maybe we just don't know where to look right. The only thing when I was thinking of the British Birds Pack was the Western Cape Acaly, which is effectively a pheasant, isn't it? And we have lots of pheasants in England.
Loads, yeah.
Otherwise, I can't think of any other. Maybe it's just because there's so many small birds like these Dartford warblers and stuff that I wouldn't recognise if I saw them in the flesh because they're so small and indistinct when they're that far away.
But then you say that, I mean, we do have a friend who is a proper bird watcher, isn't he? And we were hearing through him hanging out with your partner, Harriet, that there'd been a spotted sighting of a long-eared owl where he normally goes and does bird watching, and he had to shoot off to go and see it. So these birds, I mean, they obviously do exist. They're around in the UK, but you're right. Yeah, I wouldn't know where to find them apart from just the usual British garden.
yeah. Is this? Do you think this is the rest is ornithology now? Is that what we're becoming?
Maybe we're slowly drifting into bird watching.
Exactly.
Bird watching.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Moving on. We thanks again for your feedback for last week. Thanks for Paul for being such a easy target for us to have a rematch against. So guys, if you want to watch another rematch or playthrough, because those always seem to get the most watches and the most support, that's on YouTube and on Spotify. Last week's episode, Aidan and me took on Paul again in another rematch, and the Rosie Starling did come up again, and watched to see what happened there. We've had a lot of comments about our use of the Inca dove on that week as well, which the Inca doves are, when play power, lay one egg on every bird with a stick's nest that you've got. Those birds are great, aren't they?
I think in the right setting, as I think we demonstrated in that game, they're either a great way of just scoring you points, because if you've got a lot of birds with whatever type of nest the bird power is playing to, then it can get you loads of points in one go. But I think the Inca Dove I would probably play less, simply because it's only 2 points attached to it. So to get up to like a reasonable points total just with that bird alone is pretty hard. But I think the way we used it to give ourselves enough eggs and to, I think it was aiming towards an end of round goal, wasn't it, without giving too much away.
We did have an email. We did have an email request from Ben, effectively asking us to do the ash-throated flycatcher as
really?
week.
We should sometime. Again, that's a great bird.
Yeah, and I think for me, I see these birds as beneficial in terms of you don't have to pick up eggs. Or the other alternative is if you can combine them with a yellow power bird, which is lay one egg on each of these birds game end, as well as, so let's say you've got the Inca Dove and then you've got the yellow power equivalent of the Inca Dove. The only example I can think of is the Malleefowl, which is a yellow power, but that's Pebble's Nest, and I've done that a few times. You end up getting sort of like 14 eggs in 2 goes. You last go of the game, play the Inca Dove or Inca Dove equivalent, which is for Pebble's Nest, and then use the Malleefowl on your last go, and you're getting something like 14 eggs, and it's a huge swing there.
Definitely in combination. So it's very it was very, very good fun, and definitely thanks to Paul for agreeing to come back on. I mean, to be honest, I was surprised. Quit while you're ahead, Paul. Take the win.
Yeah,
he was
chivalrous, wasn't he? He was very chivalrous, letting us have another bite of the cherry.
Very good of him. Very good of him. And I'm sure we'll be back for more at some point later on, because they're always good fun to do them.
Absolutely. I don't know how we'll do them halfway across the world. That's going to be a bit of a technical. Not sure how we'll figure that one out.
That's true. Yeah. That could be tricky, but we'll work on it. We'll find a way to do some playthroughs, definitely.
Cool. What's on the menu today, Aidan?
So we are going to go back to our usual format of going through the opening hand review.
More the same.
Although we've got a bit of a different opening hand review this week, haven't we, Adam? Because
it's an opening hand, isn't it?
It may have been selected.
It's the random cards that were dealt, Aidan. That's all it is.
Sure it is. So we'll go through that in a few moments' time, and then what are we doing after that, Adam?
Bit more stats, I think. I don't think people got enough stats in their.
Nothing too heavy though, is it? It's something.
No, we had a lovely email from Jeff this week. So JK49 a fan, and Jeff sent us some updated bonus card stats with the newest expansion, with the Americas expansion. Any Americas expansions down in Australia yet, mate? That you're aware of? Any of your friends down there have Wingspan?
No. So we are staying with some friends while we find our own place to stay, and they have expressed some interest in being introduced to Wingspan. So that is the goal over the next week or so, to try and get an introductory game and get the ball rolling. So hopefully we'll do that.
You flew it all over, didn't you? Your Wingspan.
Yeah. So we did have limited.
What about that delicate bird feeder that you've got? Aidan's got quite an intricate, ornate bird feeder. That's still in England, is it?
That's had to remain at home, sadly. So we've just brought the dice, and we're just gonna have to go without a bird feeder, which feels sacrilegious. But so maybe
the dice
we'll
spin the other way.
Yeah,
it genuinely might. They're being serious. It's a genuine question. No,
we will. We'll see. Might end up having to buy a bird feeder.
That's a serious question.
Yeah, it's not a serious question. It's ridiculous stuff.
Okay, yeah, because there's been a huge delay. Well, not a huge delay. I think the shipping container that contains something like all 10,000 copy or 4,000 copies of the Americas expansion destined for Europe has been delayed.
Really?
I don't know if you saw the email this week, Aidan, but basically
we
got an email this week which said the shipping container has been delayed, and the shipping container should arrive at maybe like the 4th or 5th or something, and then it'll take 2 weeks to distribute. So everyone who's in Europe will get their distribution notification by the 16th of February or something, or maybe the 14th of February.
Okay.
So quite a long way away, especially when you can see on the Facebook group loads of people asking questions questions and
no.
and playing. And so I'm sort of itching. I'm absolutely itching to get my hands on the game. And me and some other friends, we said we sort of cleared some weekends so that we can get some games in. But so far, it's just going to be delayed. So we're going to have to catch up seriously when it does arrive.
Yeah, blimey. Well, yeah. So I mean, I've obviously with the move, I've not got around to ordering it here yet. So we're going to be behind the people who are listening to our podcast.
Aidan, I genuinely reckon if you ordered it now, you might still get it before us.
Probably come before you. Yeah.
I don't know if it's sold out or not. Yeah.
No, well, I'll have to have a look.
Well, because then it means we'd be able to discuss it, wouldn't we?
Yeah, 100%.
Imagine if when you come back in 2 years' time or a year's time and we play a game of Wingspan, like how much, I'm just thinking, because presumably you're not going to play as much as I will here.
Well, we'll see. Ellie and I do enjoy playing two-player games, but
okay.
I think whether we have opportunities to play with bigger player games, 3, 4, 5 player games, I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. It's a bit dependent on the friends we have here and whether we can entice them in.
I'm just saying that I'm nervous because normally you're the font of knowledge with this game. You are the one that knows everything inside out. I'm nervous.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but yeah,
on.
No, don't worry.
Don't
I'll be
sell
keeping
yourself short.
Look, there is no way I will be not playing lots of Wingspan when I'm here. It's just not going to happen. There's a new expansion. I'm going to be playing loads. It's not a problem.
Okay, so our opening hand. Shall we move on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Our opening hand this week, it is a 2-player game, and we are going first. As a reminder for anyone who might be new to the show, every week we discuss an opening hand that we give to you the week before, and we ask you to write in with how you would play it. And that opening hand is complete with bonus cards, end of round goals, and birds in the tray. We ask you to email in, write in, comment in how you would play it, and then we sort of dissect that ourselves. There is always a photo on our Google Drive, so there's a link to it in the show notes always on every episode. So our birds this week, lovely set of birds if I do say so myself, is the first, the Brahminy starling. It's a bird that can live anywhere. It costs a witch tea and an anything. It's worth 1 point. It has a cavity nest. It's got 4 egg capacity, flocking when activated power, discard up to 3 foods. For each, tuck 1 from the deck behind this bird. If you discard at least 1, gain 1 from the bird feeder. That's from the Asian Avians expansion pack. Next, Rosy Starling can also live anywhere. Cost a witch to grub a wheat and cherry. It's worth 4 points. It's also a cavity nest. It's got 3 egg capacity. Also a brown flocking when activated power. Tuck up to 3 from your hand behind this bird. If you tuck at least 1, gain 1 witch to grub from the supply. Next is the wood duck. Lives in the wetlands or the forest. Costs 2 wheats and a cherry. It's also worth 4 points. It's also a cavity nest. 4 egg capacity. Brown when activated power. Draw 2. If you do, discard 1 from your hand at the end of your turn. Next is the whiskered tree swift. This is also from the Asian Avians fan-made expansion pack. Lives in the wetlands or the trees. Eats only 1 witchetty grub. It's worth 3 points. It's a bowl nest with 1 egg capacity. Brown when activated. Cachet 1 from your supply on this bird to draw 1 from the deck. Then lastly is the tom tit. This is from New Zealand. Would you say that's New Zealand? I think that's New Zealand. Yeah.
I think it's New Zealand. Yeah.
Yes, it's got the Maori name underneath. So this is from the New Zealand fan-made expansion pack. Only lives in the trees. It cost a witch to grub or a cherry. 0 points. Also a cavity nest. That's 4 cavity nests. 4 egg capacity. Brown when activated. Cash 1 witch to grub from your supplier on this bird to lay 1 egg on this bird.
And then we've got some bonus cards. So we've got the bird counter, which is birds with a flocking power. 2 points per bird, and the viticulturalist, which is birds that eat cherries. 2 to 3 birds gets you 3 points, and 4+ birds gets you 7.
And your end of round goals: round 1, beaks pointing right; round 2, eggs in bowls; round 3, eggs in trees; and round 4, total birds.
And then in the face-up tray, we've got the grey warbler, which lives in the forest, eats a witch to grub, a wheat or a cherry, 1 point, star nest, 3 egg capacity. When played power, play another bird in your forest with a 1 egg discount. The black-necked grebe, which lives in the wetlands, eats a witch to grub and a fish, 5 bird points, star nest, 2 egg capacity. Pink, once between turns, power when another player plays a bird with a food cost of 3 food, draw a card. And then finally the Gala, which lives in the forest or the grasslands, eats 3 wheats, 5 bird points, cavity nest, 2 egg capacity, and a brown flocking when activated power. Choose one other player, they reset the bird feeder and gain a wheat. If there is one, you tuck 2 cards from the deck behind this bird. An Australian classic, there we go.
Excellent pronunciation as well. We've been pulled up, or maybe more specifically, I've been pulled up on my pronunciation. I've been saying Gala, but you said Gala, and that's the way to do it. So apologies, guys. This is not the rest is ornithology, is it?
No, definitely not. As we will demonstrate repeatedly. So, Adam,
if you haven't noticed it by episode 24, then I don't know if you're ever going to notice. Maybe we won't. Need to put a disclaimer at the start.
So, Adam, do you want to be honest here? Do you want to give the listeners a little bit of honesty about where this opening hand came from?
I'd like to know how you would play it first, if that's okay.
Well, let's be honest, right? This opening hand is great. It's very, very strong. And,
it's fantastic, isn't it?
everything works in synergy. There's a very clear plan here. So I think.
What would you do, though?
I would keep all cards except the Rosie Starling.
Oh, classic. Here we go.
And I would build a forest chain with the Brahminy Starling, the Wood Duck, the Whiskered Tree Swift, and the Tomtit. The first bird I would play would be the Tomtit, because that gets you your eggs to play other birds. And then it's simply a matter of kind of spinning the chain and building it as you go. I think after the Tomtit, the next one I would probably want to have is probably the Wood Duck, and then the Whiskered Tree Swift, and then the Brahminy Starling. It's a great engine. You'll then be drawing 2 cards or 3 cards and discarding 1 when you're activating both the Wood Duck and the Whiskered Tree Swift, which is strong. And with the Tomtit, you're going to be getting eggs as well. And the Brahminy Starling is a pure point spinner, really. So
Brahminy Starling is the Bio-Weaver of the trees, isn't it? Effectively.
It's excellent. It's excellent.
And the benefit of that Brahminy Starling is that it's any food can go in the bin, and any of those, if one of those foods is a nectar, then it goes in your tapped nectar and your spent nectar space. So you win that tree. You win it in the trees, without a shadow of a doubt.
No problem at all. And it's an excellent opening hand, and I'd keep the Viticulturalist.
So that is birds that only eat cherries. That's interesting. Even though you've already got, you're not because you're not keeping the Rosie Starling, so you've only got one in there. Ignoring the Gala.
My reasoning for that, I would love the Gala. And it is a 2-player game. We're going first, aren't we? I would say the only problem with the Gala, or the Gala,
that's on me. Yeah.
Slip straight back into it, is in a 2-player game, you are always giving that wheat to your opponent. But that being said, in a strong forest chain, I wouldn't be too worried about that, to be honest. I think if you've got that and the other 4 birds that you've kept in your hand in a forest chain, the number of points you're going to be getting every time is just going to be unbeatable. It's not matchable.
I think in the first ever Oceania game I played was with Harriet, and I had the Gala, and I lost, even though I was so confident that I would win, because I saw this bird and I was like, this bird is just so ridiculously powerful. But I think giving Harriet that much food, because I built the tree chain, meant that she was getting 3 or 4 wheats per round, which is a lot of free resources, which you could... as soon as you get the Oceania board, you just discard to get an extra egg, discard to reset the bird tray. So actually, I agree with you. I would rarely pick up the Gala in a 2-player game. I would almost never pick it up in a 2-player game. In a 3, all the time. But not in a 2. I think if this was a 3-player, I'd still ignore it, though, to be honest with you. I don't know about you. What if it was a 3 or 4-player game? Would you ignore it?
With that hand, no, because the chain chain potential is too good. Like I think the Gala I agree with you. When it first came out, I was like, this is insane. Like, this is one of the strongest birds in the game. And I probably pulled back on that a little bit more recently. Just because you're giving away that wheat. And that is, it's a strong thing. Like, having free food that you're handing around. I mean, I still think it's a very good card. And I think in a game where you're building a chain, like a forest or an egg chain, then it gets you so many points, but it doesn't get you any resources.
Well,
and actually,
you and me are currently in a game with Flan where he's absolutely pasting us with the Gala. So
yeah,
so well, we'll see. Maybe you'll be proved
we will
right.
see. Hey, that game's not done yet.
No, we'll see. I think I've grasped loss from the whatever it is,
the
from
jaws of victory.
Jaws of victory. I've absolutely thrown that game. Oh well.
So
Flan, if you're
so
listening,
go on. What would you do?
I have agonised over this hand, Aidan. I have absolutely agonised because 2 weeks ago when we discussed our dream opening hand and you gave me your vanilla Bioweaver chiff-chaff, boring vanilla opening hand, I thought, how can I, and I did give you a lot of stick, how can I curate the most beautiful opening hand that you can come up with? And so what I did is I went through the deck. So listener, if you haven't realised by now, this is my dream opening hand. Okay, this is, if you haven't realised, this Clearly. Is my dream. And so I went through the deck, and I'd already thought, because we keep banging on about how these fan-made expansions upvalue the trees. They upvalue the trees, don't they? Massively. And the Tom Tit, I think, is the perfect example of it. The Tom Tit from New Zealand expansion. No points, but that's absolutely fine, because when activated, cash 1 witch tea from your supplier on this bird to lay 1 egg on this bird. Okay, it's the tuck to lay. It's the what's the tuck to lay called in the wetlands? The
red-winged blackbird or
red-winged blackbird. That's it. Yeah. It's that, but it's in the trees. So but it's also 0 points. It should be 3 points if it's the equivalent. But anyway, regardless, 4 egg capacity, so you can activate it multiple times before you get full. And so I thought you have to start with this bird. And then I just went through the rest of the deck to look for birds that are pretty nice in the trees, all right? Because I knew roughly what I wanted. And I suppose the question for me was always, how do you do this without the pileated woodpecker? Because almost everyone, I think, in a tree chain, if they're building their dream tree chain, would include a pileated woodpecker.
Yeah.
Brown, when activated, everyone lays 1 on a cavity nest bird. You also lay on 1 additional cavity nest bird. So you're getting 2 eggs, but everyone else is getting 1 egg. And so if you and me are going down in a head-to-head in our dream opening hands, and I'm giving you a free egg almost every go, I just don't see how that's a dream opening hand. Yes, it's good for you, but it just means that you're going to have so many eggs. So I was thinking, how can I do this without the pileated woodpecker? But I think it's meant I've got myself in knots a little bit.
I think it's a great opening hand. I would want to ask you about the Rosie Starling's inclusion in there. Given our history of using the Rosie Starling to ill effect. So, what's the thoughts there?
So, I will tell you the thoughts, Aidan. The Rosie Starling was the 5th. It wasn't gonna be in there. What was gonna be in there was either gonna be the Eurasian collared dove, or the Sri Lanka blue magpie. Just because I thought I will eventually have spare food. But then what I realised is that both the tomtit and the whiskered tree swift specifically require witch tea grubs. So the tomtit, cash 1 witch tea from your supply on this bird to lay 1 egg on this bird, and the whiskered tree swift, cash 1 witch tea from your supply on this bird to draw 1 card from the deck. So I just thought I need a guaranteed witch tea grub, and so I thought even if I'm just tucking 1 under the Rosie Starling, I'm still getting the witch tea grub. So what I will do, keep all 5. I'll just have the tasty. Right, use the tasty to play the tomtit first go.
Yeah.
Second go, get food. I should then have hopefully a witch tea grub and a witch tea grub. Then next I'll play the whiskered tree swift. So because I've got the egg immediately, and then I'll probably need to spend 2 goes getting food to then play most likely the wood duck, but potentially the Rosie Starling or even the Brahminy Starling, just depending on what food I've got. And then in an ideal world, you want your wood duck in column 4 or column 5 before the Rosie Starling, so that then you can get, if both of the cards are rubbish, you can tuck both of them under the Rosie Starling and not have to discard at the end. But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters that much. So that by the time you've got your whole chain out, you are tucking 3 behind the Brahminy Starling, 1 to 2 on the rosy starling. So let's just assume 1. So that's 4 tucks you've got. You're then cashing 1 on the tree swift, and cashing 1 on the tomtit, and getting 1 egg. Oh, you can't see my hand, so I've got 7 fingers out now. And laying, so you've got 7 points there every time, plus you're drawing a card from the tree swift. So I feel like that's pretty nice.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is pretty nice. Yeah, it is pretty nice.
but then I realised it's just a wet train. It's just a wet chain in the trees. That's all it is.
Effectively is.
It's just getting the tree equivalent of the wet chain bird. And I was then thinking, well, am I even that smart? Because I've just done exactly what any other wet chain people would do.
But then I think, yeah, it is good points, and I suppose the big advantage of it is it's big points on activation of the chain, and in addition to that, you are seeing cards, and you're getting eggs, and you're getting food through that chain to play birds if they come up that are particularly good. Yeah. I would say that you're not getting very much food because you are
throwing it away.
Some with the Brahminy starling, and you're cashing it on the tree swift and the tomtit. Yeah. You are actually going to run out of food quite quickly.
Definitely. So I think that's why I kept the rosy starling, just to get the extra food. And also that's why I didn't keep the put the Sri Lanka blue magpie in, because I've got uses for all the food. They're being turned into eggs or cards. I think it would be fun. I think it'd be a great game. I was very confident I beat you, but now I'm not so sure. We'll see. I'm
still very confident.
The problem is we're not going to do it until you're next back, are we? That's the problem.
I know. It's going to be long awaited.
One of the Q&A questions that we never got round to answering was about something called sandbox mode, which I've never heard of before, but it's one of our questions from Joe. He was saying, would you guys like to have something like a sandbox mode in the app? And he would describe the sandbox mode as you choose your opening hand, i.e. it's effectively just a free arena just to do whatever you want, so you could fix things however you wanted, and that would be the dream for you and me to then play this game against each other. We could both pick our opening hands like this and then go head to head. Wouldn't that be a fantastic way to do it, do a competition? Everyone picks a dream opening hand. If 2 people share a bird, then neither of you can have the bird, is the way I would say it. Or would you have they can both have the bird? No, neither of them should have the bird, I reckon. And then you just 1v1 it, or 4v4, whatever.
I do wonder how if you did this on a larger scale, how many people would just have the same opening hand, or they choose the same strategy. And how many different strategies you would see from people?
Yeah, you go through the deck quite fast.
Because the
alternative is, why don't you just get the Franklin's gull in the grasslands and get the rook in the grasslands and spin loads and loads and loads of points, loads of eggs, loads of cards in the grasslands? That's the alternative, isn't it? And I thought that is actually much less restrictive than my route, which is very, very restrictive. You can only go one way. You only can have witch teas. Whereas if you do the grasslands route, you can have a bonus card game. You can still have a cashing game if you wanted. You could have a tucking game. It gives you much more flexibility. So maybe that's just my prejudices, Aidan.
No, I see what you're saying, and I think again, this comes back to what we always say about the game, which is one of the beauties of Wingspan, and the reason we like it so much is there are so many different ways to play it.
I don't think we'll have time to have people's responses to our opening hand, so very sorry about that. But because most people have cottoned on that it's actually a dream opening hand, and most people are doing similar to either you or me, but lots are getting the gala. The reason we won't have time is because people have emailed in their dream opening hands. Have you seen some of these, Aidan?
Yeah, I have seen a couple of them. So I've got one from Joe here.
Joe went for 2 different ones, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Joe's got his first was the classic tuck engine in the water, which was Aidan's dream. Starting with a blackbird, then a main duck, then an Uden skull, and so on. So it's exactly the same as you, Aidan.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fun one. Nothing but fishing the entire game. And then his second one.
So he's gone with the strategy that you said, hasn't he? So the pileated woodpecker, grey shrike thrush, which I thought was an interesting addition, and the wood duck. I mean, the pileated woodpecker and the wood duck combination is just a classic the classic wingspan forest chain combination.
Yeah. So grey strike thrush, what do you think about that? Asia expansion, only lives in the trees, cost a witch to grub or a rat, brown when activated, skull and crossbones power. Reset the bird feeder and gain all the rats if there are any. You may cache any or all of them on this bird.
Yeah, it's cheap. That's the thing, isn't it? It's a cheap bird. So if it is a round one or an opening hand bird, you might be tempted to keep it more often than not because it's so cheap and easy to get out. And actually, it's got one of those predator powers that might occasionally get you 2 or 3 points on an activation.
Yeah.
I would say that it probably doesn't do that very well. It doesn't do that very often at all, really. And often you don't get anything from it.
Yeah.
But I like the flexibility.
I like it. I like it as a bird.
Yeah.
Oh, you can end up often with like 10 rats on it.
Sometimes,
but it's one of those luck-based ones, isn't it? And I suppose that's the issue with the luck-based ones, is that you're literally rolling the dice, aren't you?
Absolutely, and ultimately, it's you're rolling 5 dice in to get a die face, which is on obviously one of the 6 die faces. So you it's quite a roll of the dice. And actually, would you say, like, if you compare that to one of the base game birds, which is just cache a wheat on this bird from the supply, where there is no luck element and you just get a point, which is better? One where you could get 0 but you could get 2 or 3, but most likely you'll get 1, or one which you're just guaranteed 1 every time. I mean, we'd need a stats man to tell us that, wouldn't we?
Well, lovely segue. Stats man, fantastic. That was good. Was that planned? Well done. Speaking of the stats man himself, the stats man himself has sent in his dream opening hands, and I was going to use the strike thrush as the segue, but you've gone for stats man. Fair enough. Stats man Jeff has sent us 2 dream opening hands, which are both a bit different. So firstly, he's calling full pred, which is grey strike thrush, so the bird we've just discussed. The purple heron, which lives in the water. It's actually the purple heron. Check our last game out. We used the purple heron to excellent effect last week, didn't we?
It was excellent.
Roll any 2 dice up to 3 times. Each time, if you roll a fish or a witchy grub, cache one of them on this bird. If at any time you roll neither, get rid of all the ones you've gained that go. So that can really gain you some points across the game.
Yeah.
Griffin vulture and the carrion crow, they're both teal end round powers, Aidan, aren't they? Which are,
they are.
Choose any player, including yourself, and cache a rat on them for each skull and crossbones bird that you have. And the oriental bay owl,
which is another teal power, which is activate all of your brown predator powers that you've got. So you can see the strategy he's going for here, can't you?
Leaning hard on the...
Leaning very hard
He's obviously keeping Falcon a bonus card. Leaning very hard on that one. I like that.
I can see that. I like the strategy.
Yeah, it's because he's... Each of those Griffin Vulture and Carrion Crows, so they're already going to have 2 on them each. Oh no, 3 on them each because of the Bay Owl. So by the end of the game, they're already going to have 12 minimum, aren't they?
I'm slightly surprised to not see the Philippine Eagle in there, because as a Falcon a game, that would be a lovely addition. But I guess you only got 5 cards to play with.
You've only got 5 cards.
And I think that's probably why he's included the Strike Thrush, isn't it? Because it is only 1 food cost. So it's if you're keeping all 5, you need a 1 food cost bird. To get you off.
Agreed.
So
and
I
then
can
his
see why he's done that.
Forest engine, this is a bit more like it. This is a forest full tuck, this is. Full tuck in the forest. Pileated woodpecker, wood duck, white-backed woodpecker, Sri Lanka blue magpie, and endangered species protector is his bonus card. White-backed woodpecker is
just gain any food from the bird feeder.
What makes the Sri Lanka blue magpie work,
classic,
doesn't it?
And I tell you what, all this chat about forest chains this episode, and you've not mentioned your favourite bird in the game.
The trumpeter swan.
As you
always tell me it's a trumpeter swan. I've been conditioned into thinking it's the trumpeter swan because what is my favourite
You always
bird?
said, I thought maybe I've got this wrong, but I thought you'd always said the black woodpecker was your favourite bird in the game.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I absolutely love the black woodpecker. So I did try and, I said I got all the birds out in the deck. I was thinking, how can I get the black woodpecker in? Because boy, does that work well with the Brahmini starling.
And with the bush, and with the tomtit, and with the other one I can't remember the name of, but but both with caching
the whiskered tree swift
on them. Yeah.
Well, I suppose what would you do? What would you get rid of instead of that? Because you're obviously going to keep the wood
Rosie
duck.
Starling.
Yeah. I think the Rosie Starling is a proper point spinner, though, isn't it?
I do see your logic, and actually, it's your way of turning all of that card draw that you've got, turning that into points.
Yeah, and it also makes the viticulturist work, doesn't it? I know Black Woodpecker is 2 witch teas and a cherry, isn't it?
A cherry, yeah, so it also works.
I do agree. If I had to pick, maybe, yes, it is my favourite bird in the game. Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know, Aidan. I honestly don't know. You've got me. You've woken me up early in the morning, and you put me on the spot.
Hey,
and I don't know.
Keeping you on your toes.
I don't know. There's an 11-hour time difference, and I am an evening person. I'm not a morning person by any stretch of the imagination. So it's the wrong way round, isn't it? You're 11 hours ahead. Yeah. We should do. You me do midnight, and you do 11 in the morning or something. Yeah.
I know.
Dear me.
And then Jeff's also given us some stats updates, hasn't he?
What a gent Jeff is, by the way.
He's just lovely, isn't he?
If he should start getting commission from us at some point, if this ever somehow turns into something. Yeah,
well, something big if.
So we will share what we're just about to talk to in link to the show notes, and if this does go out as a video, it might do. We will pop it on the screen at the same time as well. Yep. So if this does go out as a video, you can see Aidan's. It's like you're in like a blanket den, aren't you, mate?
Yeah, those are actually just curtains, but yeah.
Oh, okay, right. It looks like a blanket then to me. It looks like you've really gone full commitment to the sound quality. Yeah.
Not quite.
Jeff sent us a great email this week. In the past, we've spoken about Jeff has collated the win percentages of every bonus card, hasn't he? And he said which of these and he's used that to demonstrate how powerful the endangered species protector is, and that's the bonus card, which is gain 3 points for every bird that allows you to score or draw bonus cards. And using that data, he'd even proven that even if that bonus card was worth 2 per bird rather than 3 per bird that it is, it would still be like the second strongest bonus card in the game, wouldn't it? So he basically updated his stats to include the promo packs, so the fan-made promo packs, and the Americas. And something that I didn't realise, he basically said that since the Americas expansion has come out, bonus cards such as Anatomist, which is body parts, Cartographer, which is geography terms, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Photographer, which is colours in their names, get a huge boost. And the reason for that, and this is what I didn't realise, is that hummingbirds count for your bonus cards.
Yeah, they do. They do.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, if you've got them attracted there to your board, then they count, don't they?
How many? Do you think you have 3 hummingbirds at the end of the game?
Well, it's really hard to know without playing it, isn't it? And kind of seeing how it works. But I suppose you could engineer it so that you could.
Because presumably you don't. If you've got one on your mat, you don't have to return it. I presume that tends to be the Wingspan mantra. You don't have to take a benefit.
It does, doesn't it? Although I wouldn't be. I don't know. Is the honest answer. I don't know. We need to double check that.
So Cartographer, which is geography terms, birds which qualified for that prior to these expansions, 22% of birds. Now birds which qualify for it after these expansion, 27% of birds. It's a whole 5-point increase. It's an absolutely huge increase in number of birds which qualify. I suppose the difference is hummingbirds, it's not like you're going to collect an entire mat of hummingbirds, is it?
No.
This is why I say most you're ever going to have is 3. Realistically, it's probably going to be 2 or 1, isn't it?
Yeah, or not even any. So I suppose that's where the percentages of birds in the game qualifying for the bonus cards kind of matters less when if you're just applying to the hummingbirds, because you don't play them in the same way or as easily.
Yeah, exactly. And so whether it will actually change what I do in terms of bonus cards that I keep, I'm not too sure, because it's effectively they're not treated like normal birds, are they? I'm never going to have 6 hummingbirds on my mat.
I guess this is part of the excitement, and this is the new expansion. How it will change the game in that way, and how it will change our approach to bonus cards. So
I suppose that actually. So, and another point to think about with those 3 bonus cards in particular, when you're attracting a hummingbird, you're attracting from one of 5, aren't you? There's 5 in the garden face up.
I think, possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's not 3 or it's a lot of them basically. It's like an extended tray, isn't it? So actually, when we see these bonus cards that more birds qualify for them, they're also much more powerful because you can see 5 birds up there, and surely out of those 5 birds, each time one of them will have either a colour or a geography term in them. Does that make sense? Yeah?
So it gives you a lot of extra flexibility.
You've got a lot of flexibility. You're not just drawing randomly from the deck trying to look for a bird. You've actually drawing from 5 there, and you don't even then need to play them after drawing them. They just immediately become part of your counter towards your bonus card. So actually,
you do that as part of doing another action, at the end of a chain that you've already done.
Yeah.
So they do become very powerful.
So even when Jeff says like, okay, cartographer, 5% more birds qualify for it, it's actually stronger than that because you don't have to play half of those, well, potentially 2 or 3 of those birds. You don't have to play them. You just bring them onto your mat, and you're not drawing them randomly. You're drawing them from an open garden.
It's definitely an interesting dynamic, isn't it? It's going to change the game quite significantly, I think. So
I think it will. Really honestly, when Jeff sent me that, I thought I'm probably not going to change what I do, but how I play. But now I think I will. I genuinely think I will. I think I'll probably be more likely to keep those bonus cards for that very reason. That is interesting.
We will see. All will be revealed.
Oh, I'm desperate to have it. I really am.
Once that shipping container manages to make its way to Europe.
Where is the shipping container?
I will go
in the sea and I will bring it home. Wherever it is.
Get your little dinghy out. Go off into the Atlantic and see if you can track it down.
How do you reckon it is? Do you reckon it's like 1 container, 2 containers? I have no idea. They've got thousands.
It's got to be more than 1, isn't it? It's got to be more than 1. It's got to be.
I don't know if I've made this up, but it was definitely in the tens of thousands of copies that they've sold in total.
It's going to be a lot.
I don't know how many's in Europe. Tens of thousands to match the tens of thousands of listeners that are tuning in every week for our show.
Hey, there you go. Give or take 1 or 2, but yeah, 1 or 2 zeros. Right. So yeah, well, it's been good to catch up from the mate. The faraway lands of Australia. But yeah, and thank you all very much for tuning in and listening to us drone on as usual about Wingspan. And it's always nice that some of you actually appreciate what we're chatting about.
yeah, it is good. And I think from now on, I mean, now that we're not recording face to face, we will be. We could be filming this. So if this is something you're interested in, just having us on sort of YouTube or Spotify video, we will. Aidan will come to you weekly from his blanket fort.
I think the background setting will change frequently at the moment as we find.
That'd be quite nice if each week we get a new view. That would be quite nice, to be fair.
That might not be particularly exciting views, or maybe they will be. Maybe we'll give you some pretty stunning Aussie sunsets and so on.
Maybe we'll get your proper camera next week.
Something a bit less grainy. It's all part of the transition process.
Just say it's the thousands of miles between us. That's all it is. That's
exactly.
The problem. Fine.
And of course, we'll have an opening hand for you guys to have a look at for next time as well. So as usual, please do write in fulltuckpodcast@gmail.com or comment on Spotify, YouTube, wherever you get your podcast, basically, and it'll find its way to us.
Yeah, and if you want to hear more, we've got a whole repository of episodes on Spotify and YouTube and absolutely everywhere. And if you like us, please subscribe. If you fancy it, leave a review. That's how
be great.
That's how we grow. That'd be very nice. If you think we're rubbish, tell us. If you think we're great, please tell us.
And you can always email in if you've got suggestions as well. If you've got something you want to hear us talk about, let us know.
Yeah, exactly. We absolutely love getting your emails, guys. It is fantastic. And we'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Have a good one.